Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul.
That's right. Diddy's time is finally up. He ran and ran, but he couldn't hide, and now he's been arrested. Watch what the U.S. attorney had to say about him.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
That is a hefty rep sheet, and right now for Diddy, it must all feel like it's coming crashing down. It was the details that got Diddy caught, so let's get into those. In a shocking federal indictment, Diddy has been accused of organizing wild, days-long sex parties fueled by drugs, where victims were allegedly forced to participate. According to the claims, these events were recorded for blackmail purposes, leaving the victims so drained they needed IV drips to recover. The recording part has been corroborated by Gene Deal before.
Jay's speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exist. You know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is gonna speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
LaRob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy, bruh. They just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
The indictment against Sean Diddy Combs, released by federal prosecutors on Tuesday, includes charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transporting individuals for prostitution. Diddy was arrested on Monday night at a New York City hotel, just hours after being spotted in Central Park. This was something Gene Deal called quite some time ago.
No, one of my friends who was actually in the studio with him said that Homeland Security brought him in, and this dude is he's a fraternity brother of mine, but he's also a producer, an engineer, and he was in the studio the night one of the girls made a complaint. The night something happened to one of the girls, and he told the lawyer everything that the girl told him, which was crazy. And Homeland Security brought him in. So He told them they wouldn't let him know what they were doing, but it seemed like that something might happen before Labor Day.
Wow, before Labor Day?
Yeah. They working hard on this, bruh. They working hard. You got to realize they working with a lot of stuff. They working with the taxes. They got lawyers for the taxes. They got lawyers for the complaints for the, what you call that? Sexual complaints. They got lawyers for, what else? The gun. They got different lawyers working on all those things, bro. And they got witnesses.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the girl saying to the lawyers?
Oh, the girl has said that that same that happened to Lil Chris, he gave him a bottle of champagne or wine or whatever like that. And once she drank it, she became a certain way and found herself giving him a fellatio in the studio in front of people. The dude said he walked out because he was appalled. He had just had a daughter.
These charges come on the heels of a lawsuit filed by his ex, Cassie Ventura, less than a year ago, accusing the music mogul of years of physical and sexual abuse. Her lawsuit has since sparked a wave of allegations from others. Prosecutors claim that Diddy would host wild parties, dubbed freak-offs, where sex workers were flown in for days of debauchery. Once there, they were allegedly pressured with money and fear to engage in disturbing, non-consensual acts. Diddy is also accused of recording the encounters while he watched. The indictment also details how the relentless partying, which involved heavy use and alcohol, left participants exhausted, with IV bags reportedly sent to help them recover. When federal agents raided Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami Beach, they reportedly uncovered 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil, along with a stash of narcotics. They also found 3 AR-15 rifles with defaced serial numbers and a drum magazine. Footage from TMZ revealed the aftermath of the raid, showing his Los Angeles home in disarray. Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilio, spoke outside a Manhattan courthouse on Tuesday, stating that Diddy plans to plead not guilty. He's going to write this with all of his energy and all of his might, and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs. Prosecutors allege that Diddy used his infamous freak-offs to maintain control over participants, recording degrading acts to hold power over them. He allegedly used violence and threats to keep them in line. According to prosecutors, Diddy's employees were heavily involved in organizing these wild parties, which often lasted for days. They were responsible for booking hotel rooms, giving him large sums of cash to pay off sex workers, and cleaning up after the parties. These parties were allegedly well prepared, with hotels being stocked with controlled substances, baby oil, extra linens, and special lighting ahead of time. Some of these controlled substances were used to participants.
Because they don't want to get no kind of put in their system. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They didn't put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the ease, all whatever they put it in the juice. Now, those girls who like the mixed drinks, you understand what I'm saying? They gonna pour their own sexual act because they don't understand it ain't in the bottles, it's in the juice. Those guys, they learn that and they put it to those girls who don't know no better.
Some hotels even charged Diddy extra for damages, particularly to couches and linens. These shocking allegations come on the heels of a lawsuit filed by Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, less than a year ago, where she claimed he forced her to engage in sexual acts with male prostitutes while he watched. Though Diddy denied the allegations, the lawsuit was settled out of court. But soon after, a surveillance video emerged, showing Diddy chasing Ventura down a hotel hallway, beating her, and stomping on her while she lay motionless. In the footage, he's seen wearing nothing but a towel as he sits nearby, eventually throwing a vase at her. This incident, which mirrors what was described in the indictment, was allegedly interrupted by a hotel staff member who tried to stop the attack. Prosecutors claim Diddy then attempted to bribe the employee to stay quiet. It seems that Diddy had a habit of silencing witnesses.
In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee.
He did this at the Shine trial too.
When Puff liked their story, what they saw, he gave it to their lawyer. Their lawyer then sent them to the DA's office, and those people testified against Sean. They had the same charges. So they separated lawyers. They had separate lawyers, and everything went on Sean because Diddy found the witness against Sean and brought him forward. So I guess that's how you do your man when you don't want to go to jail. That's what happened, bro. Sean said it in the whole interview. On that documentary that Sean did from jail, he spoke about that, but he forgave him.
Just last week, a judge ordered Diddy to pay $100 million to Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who sued the producer, alleging Diddy drugged and assaulted him back in 1997. Cardello Smith, who is currently in prison for multiple sex crimes, filed the suit in June. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, strongly denied the accusations, claiming Diddy has never even met the man. Gene Deal, however, had something different to say. He revealed Diddy paid a lot of money to Derek to keep quiet.
He was suing Diddy and everything like that, so he said that Diddy came to the jail and said that, hey, I'll give you $2.3 million or something like that, or 23. I don't know if it's 2.3 or $23 million to make this go away. We'll leave this alone the whole 9 yards. Just like I just said, he's trying to pay people off to make things go away, for them to drop their suits and everything like that. You know what I mean? And if he does that, they civil suit. Drop him, make him go away. What would it take? So this particular dude said that Diddy was trying to sell properties and sell things and stop him from getting his money, and I didn't understand that. But the judge found some validity in what he was saying and said, yo, I'm gonna give you a 90-day restraining order against him from selling anything until you get all your paperwork in correct, because Diddy was served in the whole 9 yards. And as it was said that Diddy and his representative did come to the jail. So if the guy didn't have no lawsuit, if the guy wasn't, if his stuff wasn't truthful, why would they entertain it? The judge entertained it, Diddy lawyers them entertain it, and Diddy entertained it. So it may be some truth to it. But this dude is raping grown men. That's crazy.
Gene also joked about Diddy needing T.D. Jakes' help now.
He has some validity into what he was saying. What the judge do? He granted him the restraint from Diddy selling the properties until the dudes get his paperwork and everything in.
You heard about Diddy law firm breaking charges with him in Miami Beach, taking his day away?
Well, all the things that happened to Diddy, and he losing friends, companies, cities, city names, city girls. I think he should become an altar boy for T.D. Jakes and give his and let T.D. Jakes, put some hands on him and probably save himself and save his soul. I think that's what he should do.
Meanwhile, a source told the U.S. Sun that federal agents investigating Diddy were also secretly coordinating with prosecutors involved in Tupac Shakur's murder case. And wouldn't you know it, Gene Deal said this was going to happen too.
I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were saying the feds are so deep and involved in this that Diddy just might be called up on that Tupac shit once they go through the money trail. Once they go through the money trail and find out why certain people was given certain positions, that it may be a problem. Because they're gonna look at all that. Anything they can bring up, they're gonna bring it up.
Wow. So you think it's possible that they might pit Pac murder on Diddy?
Yeah. That's why that tape of Cassie was released. So anybody who was willing to try to help him, anybody was trying to say that he ain't capable of doing this and he ain't capable of doing that, they got it right there on videotape.
But you being around at that time, right? Because you was working at Bad Boy at that time when, you know, the whole Pocket Big thing was going on. You personally, do you think they can get Diddy on Pac murder?
Well, they always said something about $1 million check, and nobody knew where the $1 million came from. Puff may have said it in a couple of rap songs and things like that. But they would have to trace the check back to if that check Eric Von Zip had. If they trace it back to Eric Von Zip and say, why were you on, and he's dead now, but they have to explain why did he was able to get some publishing money or some kind of deal off the sale of Black Ground Records, and they put him as Tank manager or Tank something for Tank, this, that, and the third. Why did they do that?
Yeah, I got you. And when you say check, right, just to get some clarity for the people that don't know what you're talking about, you talking about the $1 million check, right, that they put on Tupac to get him killed, the hit?
Yeah. What I'm talking about is that if Puff had said on a couple of records that he'll pay $1 million to, you know, but he was just talking to people randomly. So now everybody said that, and Keefy D said that Puff told them that he'll give him $1 million.
Federal investigators have been quietly working with the Clark County District Attorney's Office in Las Vegas as part of their broader investigation into the 1996 shooting of iconic rapper Tupac Shakur. A source told the U.S. Sun. So far, the only person charged in the case is Keef D, a self-proclaimed Los Angeles gang kingpin. But it's now revealed that federal officials have been gathering information from Vegas prosecutors about possible connections to wider criminal activities and people who may have wanted Tupac dead. Although Diddy's name has come up in the investigation, his lawyer has publicly maintained that he's innocent of any involvement. This is pretty interesting, though, because Tupac's own cousin claimed quite a while ago that the feds were investigating Diddy for Pac's murder.
I got a two-part question for you. How do you feel about Puffy, and do you feel like he should be investigated for Tupac murder?
Yeah, so to answer to your first question, how I feel about Puffy, I'm gonna be very honest about my response. I have a lot of respect for what Puffy accomplished in his career. It's very difficult for a black man in America to accomplish the heights of success that he has accomplished. So I respect that. In a way, I respect his accomplishment, his climb up the ladder for what he was able to achieve. You know what I mean? You gotta look at that and you gotta say to yourself, wow, you know, that's admirable to come from nothing and be able to achieve what you achieved as a black man in this country. I know how hard that is, so I respect that. Now, to answer your question about that, first of all, I feel like there is truth to everything that everyone is saying around Puff. I feel it's not a lie. I feel that there's some truth to it because remember, I was around Pac during that time. You know what I'm saying? And I seen how things was transpiring. So I believe that there's some truth to it. That yes, in fact, Puffy was intimidated by Pac. You know, he felt like Pac was someone he was threatened by. You know, because look, dude, if you know Pac, you know, if you someone like a Puff, you would be threatened by him, because every time you see Pac, he got a gun, like he got 2 or 3 guns, and he's like blatant. Pac is a dope dude. Don't get me wrong. He's not a bully or nothing like that. He's a funny guy. He's a nice guy, generous guy, peace-loving guy. But he wasn't having it. You know, he just wasn't having it. So I can see why Puff might have felt threatened by Pac. I can see it. So if it's true that what everyone is saying, Keefy D, everyone coming on these podcasts, the storyline about Puff paying whoever to do whatever, you know, with Pac, if all that is true, like I said, he needs to be held accountable for it. He needs to be held accountable. It has to be accountability from him for his involvement in getting my cousin killed. I try to keep my personality out of it because, like I said, I'm not in that space anymore where I wish harm on someone else. I just don't feel like that anymore. But I do feel that he has to be held accountable if it's true. In my opinion, I think that Puff is being investigated. I think that they're waiting, or they may be waiting for an opportunity for him to incriminate himself, just like Keefy D did. You know, probably on the phone though, like on a wiretap.
If they took this long, they definitely have a strong case. The probe, however, remains largely under wraps. But how does it all end for Diddy? Will he survive prison? Gene Deal doesn't think so.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. He wasn't even with her and he was still following her every move, man. But yeah, man, I can't believe it, man. I'm still in disbelief by that video, man. Yeah, it ain't looking good for Diddy, man.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be over, man.
You can stick a fork in him. He's done. No Diddy, but you can stick a fork in him. He's done. There's no way that he could ever come back from this. He has to find a way to pay his penances with God. Do some charity work for domestic. I'm helping him out. You understand? Get rid of all these elusive preachers and everything, these TD Jakes and all that other bull crap. Get down with that down home religion. Go and support some women groups from domestic violence. Support and do some charity work for women in battered shelters. Go and spend your life and your time helping men like yourself. Once you take care of your business and get on your knees and beg for Ms. Wallace's forgiveness for putting the Notorious Big in that situation that he lost his life. That's a start.
What do you think happens now? Let us know in the comments below.